So here I am with the VO2 Master analyzer. What can I do with it? Well, it'd almost be a case of what can't I do with it, because as we look at the app, and I've got my tablet here, there are 4 basic test protocols that you can run standard through the app and a free mode. So I'll run you through the 2 that I use the most, although other people use the system in different ways. So the first one is graded exercise test. Typical graded exercise test. The app allows us to set up a test, doesn't matter how, treadmill, bike, rowing ergo, where you have a warm-up period, and then, as it says, graded exercise test, that you increase the step work, so you increase the rate of intensity for a duration. You can put the duration of the warm-up, you can change the duration of the step, you can change the intensity of the step, and you basically take your athlete right through to max. Doing that test, that allows you to find your training zones and make sure you're giving the athlete the right information. From a test-retest point of view, you get critical data like peak oxygen consumption, peak heart rate, and obviously the device that you're using might be peak running speed, it might be peak power output on the bike, but you can now track athletes' progress over time. So that gives you a measure of assessing training zones and reassessing progress as the athlete goes on. The other test that I use really quite extensively is the resting test, the resting metabolic rate test. Again, really simple. Once the device is on, the athlete sits and rests, and it's got a standard system from having anything from a 5-minute settle in and a 5-minute measurement period to a 30-minute measurement period, where we've got the athlete sitting, resting, getting our data, and at the end of that test immediately we're able to give the individual that you're working with a resting metabolic rate, so we can accurately calculate the calories that they need to maintain weight or particularly lose weight. In addition to this, there's a 5-1-5 test, which lots of the Moxy monitor users absolutely love, where they can tie up their Moxy data and they can use the 5-1 test, the 5-1-5 test to pull data intervals out, or there's an interval test that we can use as well, where we can set up work recoveries, which again, if you're going to look at taking external data such as a lactate, is a really good way to be able to set up your testing. So you've got your VO2 data alongside of those exercise rest intervals. The other thing I love doing with this is using the free protocol, where I literally set the thing going and off I go. And I'll quite often take myself out and do a park run. So you've seen me around the country, around the world, sticking this on, and I'm off for my 5K park run. And what the monitor is doing at that point is actually picking up GPS data, so I can see how fast I am, where I am on a map. It picks up my heart rate data from the heart rate that I'm using. It picks up my stride foot pod data, and it collates all of that into the one data set, so that when I finished exercise, all that data is available to me. So we've got 4 standard protocols, which are all able to be defined by the user within certain parameters, or you've got free mode. So depending on the look of the use that you're trying to achieve, we've got a whole load of things that this can do. And it's almost a case of what can't this do?